Hi, folks. Welcome to the Entrefluential Life podcast. I'm your host, John Tanner.
And I'm your co-host, Sebastian Tanner.
How's it going today, Sebastian?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, actually. Guess what's going on in my life?
What?
Tomorrow, I'm driving to Orlando to go to the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association annual conference.
Nice.
Yep. And then after that conference, which I plan on taking some seminars that's there. They give you these different seminars on how to invest in restaurants, how to open a restaurant from scratch.
Cool.
There's stuff about lodging, hotels, which is my industry. And then there'll be some breakout sessions where I get to meet people, network.
Wow.
And then I'm going to a cocktail party from FIU, which is for the alumni. It's hosted by one of our alumni.
Wow.
And so last time I went was in 2017.
Yeah, that's right.
And there was they had some of the best wines and hors d'oeuvres.
Wow.
It was fantastic.
And you have tickets to go for free too, so that's even better.
Yes, I got tickets because of being an alumni from FIU.
Man.
I got tickets to both events for free, so I'm really stoked about that.
I wish I was coming with you.
I know, man. I wish I could take you with me. Trust me, I need a wingman.
That's awesome.
Man, I feel so a little short on this chair. Let me raise it up a little bit. So, you're just taller than me. That's what it is. So, I'm really stoked about going on this trip tomorrow. I'm not really happy about having to drive 2 hours, but sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
It's only 2 hours.
It's just not too bad. Yeah.
From Jacksonville to
The drives that I've been doing lately have been Massachusetts to Florida.
That's a big
to South Florida.
Yeah. Okay.
Port St. Lucie to Jacksonville.
Yeah, it's like my 2 hours is like a break for you.
It's like a rest.
It's like you having one train of thought. You're like, okay, let me focus on driving again.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Oh man, so that's cool. Yeah. So we'll see what happens, and then I'm off on Thursday. I got Wednesday and Thursday off.
Nice.
And so I plan on coming back. Like I'm not going to be getting lit at the party. I'm just going to have a glass of wine and mingle. Tasting. And then come back. So because I want to have my Thursday to recuperate, relax, and then I have to be back at work again on Friday. So
exactly,
kind of need a little time off to relax and do laundry.
Wind down.
Yeah, wind down from the wine party.
Wind down after the wind down.
After the wind down, yeah. Wind down Wednesday. It will be wind down Wednesday for me, which I love. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's that. What's going on with you?
Nothing much. I mean, I start working tomorrow, so that's good.
You told me something positive today that you did that was awesome.
Yeah, so I went to the gym. I got back into the gym yesterday, so it's been a couple days off. But today I went back into it.
Oh, okay.
Is the computer charged?
Yeah, it's supposed to be plugged in, but maybe it's because I don't have that switch on.
Is it working now?
Not sure. Let's see if the power's on. Let me plug this into a different outlet.
Yeah.
Maybe it needs to be plugged into a different outlet. Okay. Sorry, technical difficulties. Let's go ahead and plug it into that outlet over there, if you don't mind. Okay. No, right there. Oh. Sorry about that, guys. We just want to make sure that we don't lose our the laptop like we did last time.
Is it on?
It was. No. You know what? Maybe it's over here.
Maybe I'll do this one right here.
Uh-huh.
Is it good?
Yep, we're good.
Okay, there we go. We can turn that light back on.
Awesome. Perfect.
But yeah, so other than that, it's just back into the gym today, hit the weights, and then the cardio afterwards. And did 20 minutes on the cardio at an incline of 12. So, and then I put the speed from 2.0 speed to 2.5. So that's not really too fast, but I'm just kind of gradually every single day that I go on with the cardio, I'm going to start increasing the speed. So that way the intensity is getting a little bit more intense with every single session that I'm doing. But yeah, it feels great. And working out, it really gives you the energy for the rest of your day. It gives you the motivation, it gives you you get very energetic after you did your workout because A, it releases the endorphins in your brain. So you feel great that you did the workout. And B, just for yourself, even if your brain, even if there wasn't endorphins getting released chemically without all of that. Oh, hey, Greta.
Hi, Greta. How are you?
That's awesome. But yeah, it just feels good. It feels good. You feel
the
proud of
endorphins?
yourself.
Are you kidding me? That's like the best part of working out.
Exactly. But even aside from that, just the fact that you did it yourself without having someone to tell you went there, like when you push yourself to go and do something, you feel a reward from it because of the discipline is what it is. So I love the endorphins. I love the discipline. It's like you get endorphins twice because the chemical will get released after your workout.
Right.
But also the fact that you had the discipline to go and you got it done in the day, you're like, okay, now you're feeling good because you're being productive.
Absolutely.
And you're getting the things that you want to get done. Because sometimes, even though I love the gym, lately my schedule hasn't been as hardcore as it was before. So now sometimes you fall out of it, but then you can fall back in love with the process too.
Yeah, you have to.
What I mean? And so really it's falling in love with the discipline is what you have to do. You got to fall in love with the process of being disciplined because not every single day I want to go to the gym and do everything. And not every single day I want to eat right, So it's like a combination of the two, Fitness is the king and nutrition is the queen. So,
I love that.
So you gotta really just
that's a great analogy.
Stay into the process of being disciplined with anything that you're doing in life. So it feels great to go and work out. It feels good to get stuff done.
And the other thing about it, it's not only that you get the endorphins, which make you feel good. It's a happy chemical, and it's better than doing drugs because it's clean.
Exactly.
The other thing that you get out of it is when you have that positive mindset, then things don't stress you out.
Exactly.
As they would
it's
otherwise.
Anxiety relief. Working out helps with stress, anxiety.
Makes you calm.
Exactly. Yeah.
Makes you calmer.
It makes you calmer during the day.
And so you don't react. You don't react to triggers.
Exactly.
Because there's a whole bunch of triggers out there, right? And
I 100% agree.
And if something sets you off, that would normally set you off, you won't because you got those endorphins flowing.
Yes.
And you're at a more tranquil state of mind. And
absolutely.
So you can choose to respond differently to those triggers.
Absolutely.
And you can say, no, I'm not responding to you like that. No, I'm cool. It's cool. I can see how other people would be pissed off at you because you just cut me off.
I can see how other people would be pissed off. No, and
I can see how people will give you the finger, but I'm gonna be cool right now.
I'm not gonna give you the finger today because I worked out. No, but I genuinely agree with that. And when I'm not working out versus when I am going to the gym, I feel like I'm much less irritable by things because with life and everything, it feels like everything hits you at one time. They say when it rains, it pours.
Oh my gosh!
So what I mean. It's easy to get caught into that negativity and everything's working bad for me.
Yeah.
And going to the gym and everything, it de-stresses you. So it starts to help you kind of change your thinking a little bit because you're not so aggravated at those things that would easily aggravate you on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So
well, if you think about let's say you go grocery shopping, right?
Yeah.
And when you go grocery shopping, you have the opportunity to put good things in your bag or some bad things that make you feel good temporarily in your bag. And so when you're doing that with things in life, right?
Yes.
You're able to put in good things that are going to make you function properly, such as working out, that you can carry throughout your day, or you can put bad things in your bag, your daily activities, which is like, oh, let me have some beer, let me eat some pizza on my lunch break when I'm at work, and then try to go back to work and be productive. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like that's a no. Like, okay, wait till Sunday, watch a football game, and eat your pizza and beer. Then let that be your cheat day. So it's all a matter of putting things in the right category, choosing to do the right thing, right? That's beneficial for you.
Exactly.
And the rewards are magnificent. It's not only that.
It's multiple rewards.
You could say
even just one. It's like it helps you in your life. In your lifestyle, it benefits you in multiple different ways.
100%.
So that's just the great part of it.
Exactly. We're on the same frequency here because that's exactly what I was thinking in a different words. But you well, that was it.
And so, talking about the baskets at the grocery store is actually leading into my physical tip of the day.
Woo!
So it's a good transition. So we'll start.
I love it.
So the physical tip of today is to eat your vegetables daily. And so just like with the basket at the grocery store, you can put good things or bad things in it. You want to make sure you're putting vegetables in that basket because a lot of us, it's easy to just have your chicken, steak, fish, whatever you like to eat. But it's really important to get those broccolis, carrots, all those vegetables on the side with you want to have the protein. The carbs is like a staple for everyone. They always have protein. They always have some carbs, mashed potatoes, rice, pasta, whatever it is. But a lot of people forget the vegetables part. And so I have a couple lists of just the benefits that eating vegetables every day can do for you.
Okay.
It can lower your blood pressure. It can reduce the risk of heart disease and stroke. It can even help benefit your skin. It can help your skin clear up and get better. It can prevent some types of cancer. It can lower the risk of eye problems and your digestive problems too. So, those nutrients in the vegetables, sometimes, when you're eating, I've heard from trainers that some say that when you're having the protein and the carbs and whatever, and you're not having the veggies in your diet, it's you can feel like you're still hungry, even though you already ate some food that would have you feeling full. And so it's kind of like, when people, they eat too fast, they can eat a whole bunch, and then all of a sudden they feel super full, they're bloated, they can't even move, they need to take a nap. And so when you have those vegetables, it sends the signals like, okay, like now you got the right nutrients, so you don't feel so hungry. So it's kind of like when they tell you to eat slower and everything too. So having those veggies will make you, in a way, it has you not eating as much because you can have a lot of that food in a certain amount of time. But
so your body is hardwired to give you
need the nutrients.
A positive reaction to eating the right thing.
Exactly. And a lot of the vegetables, they can have a lot of nutrients, including potassium, dietary fibers, which is dietary fiber. The fiber is gonna help you use the bathroom. It's gonna help your metabolism.
Okay.
It's got folate and vitamins A and C.
Okay.
So there's a lot of benefits to having vegetables. Reducing potential risks for your health.
Okay.
And it's got a lot of vitamins that you need too, and it helps your metabolism. And some of them have the fiber that you need to boost your metabolism. So it's a win-win. You have the vegetables.
You have to clean your organs out, like your stomach.
And it helps you
clean your digestive system out.
Yes.
And that's good. That helps your body function at a higher state, higher performance, right?
Yep, exactly.
It makes you feel leaner too, obviously.
Yes, and the nutrients, it just you can feel it over time. It's like some people they have it for one day, and then you can't really see the full effect. But in science, they do experiments.
Yep.
They do multiple experiments. You got to do it for multiple days. It takes 30 days to build a habit.
Yeah.
So you start eating clean for a couple days. Okay, you might feel a little better, but you eat clean for a whole month, 30 days, your body feels the difference.
I think that's accurate. That's why people do dietary cleanses, juices, detoxes, right?
Exactly, and it's like a 14-day cleanse or a 7-day cleanse. It's not a 1-day cleanse. No, they might have that. I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
But the majority of the best ones are 7 days, 14, 30 days.
Christians do a thing called the Daniel fast. It's a 21-day fast.
I was just thinking of that.
And they do it in February or January.
Yes.
And that's actually really great. I haven't done it actually in a couple of years. And I feel guilty for not doing it because I'm just here, splurging and doing whatever I want to eat and whatever. And I actually feel the physical difference. I actually lose weight when I do it. I've done it probably 3 times already in my life.
Because you cut out a lot of bad stuff when you do it. You're having vegetable soups.
Yeah, after 21 days, you don't want to eat garbage,
That's the thing, that our bodies are hardwired to. Everyone's different, but I think for the most part, in most cases, we're very habitual. So you get into the habit of eating junk food. You want junk food all the time.
Right.
But once you stop having junk food and you're eating healthy food all the time,
you don't want the junk
once
food.
you have the junk food again, it doesn't hit the same way. It
doesn't
taste the same.
It tastes awful.
The soda, everything, it doesn't do the same effect.
When I lived in France for a month and a half, and over there they have like really high food standards.
Different.
The food is so very good quality.
Yep.
And the last day when I was leaving, I had to stop in Berlin.
Yeah.
And then there was a problem with the plane. I was on the plane on the tarmac, ready to take off.
Wow.
I was supposed to fly from Berlin to Miami, and there was a problem with the fuel gauge. And so I got stuck on the plane for 5.5 hours.
What?
And then they got everybody off the plane and said, "I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to make this trip today."
No
and so,
way.
Yeah,
you told me about. I remember that.
It was so awful, man. But so listen, what the airline did was they gave me a hotel room. But it was a fashion show that was happening in Berlin that weekend. So there were no hotels in Berlin. They had to drive me to a town an hour away. And so I went to Burger King to give me food vouchers. And so I went to Burger King and I got a Whopper meal.
And, so after having all that good food,
and I took that Whopper.
You had Burger King.
Yeah, I had that Whopper meal and I took it in the bag, in the car with me. And I was going to wait until I got to my hotel room to eat, right? I was really excited about getting this Whopper, too, by the way, because it's been a month and a half since I had a Whopper.
Right.
I was really excited about having it. And I waited for an hour and a half to get to the hotel to eat. And so by this time, you know what happens with fast food, right?
It goes bad.
It goes bad.
Yeah.
Like really fast, right?
It goes bad quick.
Yeah. And so after an hour drive to the hotel, it was soggy, it was cold.
Oh, yeah.
It was greasy as hell.
Yeah.
I took a bite out of the Whopper and it tasted nasty. It tasted awful. I spit it out and threw the whole damn thing away. No offense to Burger King. Hey, I like your food. I love your sandwich.
Yeah.
But this was an awful freaking situation, man.
You know, that's what happens when it sits. All the oil, it goes down.
And I just was
disgusting.
And I wasn't used to it. You know, I really wasn't used to that,
exactly.
that food, fast food. And so, especially eating over there in Europe. And so, yeah, it was a big difference.
That's what happens. Normally, it looks good. You're used to eating that fast food. But when you were there, you're eating cleaner than Americans do when you're over there. So you had that on that last day.
Yep.
And your body is repulsed by it almost. Because once you get used to what you need, and when you have the right foods, you wake up with more energy every day. You have more energy to do everything throughout the week than you do eating junk food. And you can just feel it, you know. You can, for our viewers, it's just a challenge. Do it for a week. Try eating whatever is all the junk food you're going out to eat, all that stuff. Stop it for 1 week, and then see there's going to be a slight difference. Not a huge difference because you got to do it for a long period of time. Yeah. But even just in 1 week, you'll see the difference. And then go and get some McDonald's. Some people, they might like, oh, I couldn't wait to get back to my junk food. But with other people, they'll notice.
I say give it 30 days, man. Like,
or do the full 30 days. Exactly.
You have your you can have your like one cheat day.
If you do it for 30 days, then it's going to taste bad to you.
They say it takes 30 days to build a habit. So, so give yourself 30 days to see if it sticks. You know. Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. That's it for the nutrition, physical
nutrition. Throw some vegetables onto the plate. Man.
Yes, exactly.
Anyways, who doesn't like freaking broccoli with cheese, right? I mean, cheese is probably not the best thing.
How much too much
dairy,
cheese.
But it's still freaking amazing. And better to eat the broccoli with the cheese than to not eat it at all.
Exactly.
You know, or creamed spinach.
Oh,
so good. But I love broccoli. Honestly, I love
the vegetables,
steamed broccoli with just a little sprinkle of lemon juice.
Oh, that's delicious. Yes.
Oh, broccoli with lemon juice. Oh, it's so good.
Exactly.
Or if you're making, let's say you're making some, what do you call those little round pasta with the cheese inside of it? Tortellini. Yeah. If you're making tortellini, let's say you're making tortellini. And you throw in some spinach with the tortellini, and throw some olive oil, and a little bit of butter and olive oil, and a little pepper, and a little garlic, and a little Parmesan cheese. It is amazing. Wow. Really amazing. So try that.
It's delicious.
It's so good. Okay, guys. So now I'm going to move on to my mental tip of the day, right? Mindset. Mindset tip of the day. And this comes from The 12 Rules of Success by Earl Nightingale. This is rule number 8. Look for the best in new ideas. As someone once said, I've never met a person I couldn't learn something from.
That's great. That's a great tip.
So I've never met a person I couldn't learn something from. Even from somebody who's, let's say, a fool. You can learn something from that person, right? Yeah. So you can always learn something from everyone that you meet. Obviously, if the person's a whiz, you're like, oh, okay, I want to soak up all this information. Let me pick your brain. I want to absorb it all.
Aren't at that level. Yeah. You can learn from them too. You can learn from everyone.
Everyone, even a fool, can teach you something. Right?
Exactly.
Don't be like that guy.
But yeah, that's absolutely true.
All right, so that was my mindset tip of the day, and then. What's next, Sebastian?
So the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'll be reading from the 66 books of the Bible by Dr. David Jeremiah.
Yep. The spiritual tip of the day.
Yes, we're going to do the spiritual tip of the day.
And today's 2 Samuel.
2 Samuel? Oh, yeah.
I think so. That's what I have on my notes.
We're on, let me see. Yep, that's right. Samuel book 2. All right. So I'll show the audience what the cover looks like.
I love it. It's just like the last one, just that burgundy and gold.
Yes, the gold.
So beautiful, majestic, regal.
It's like a Christmas vibe.
It is a Christmas vibe.
A little bit of a Gatsby.
Which is cool because we're in November 1st.
Exactly.
Hello, November.
All right. The book of 2 Samuel can be summed up in one word: David. It's the story. So I guess word or slash name too. They should have put.
Yeah.
And so it's the story.
David is a word, right?
It is.
It's a word. It's a person.
That's true.
A person.
Yeah. Okay. It's the story of his 40-year reign over Judah and Israel. The first 10 chapters tell us how he built his kingdom. The next 10 tells us, sadly, how he wrecked his life. Yet God in his mercy led David to contrition, repentance, and restoration, making him the greatest Israelite king in the Bible and the great composer of many of the Psalms of the Old Testament. Like David, we aren't perfect. May the Lord keep us from sin, especially the kinds of sins that wreck our reputations and bring reproach on his kingdom. But only in heaven will there be a sinless environment for sinless people. Until then, we must constantly and continually live under the reign and rule of Jesus Christ, the Son of David, and the King of righteousness. So what I like about this is he was like going to the top, and then he fell and he wrecked his life, and then God brought him back.
Yeah, he
redeemed himself.
He did.
So that's just showing everyone that's a great story. Like David, and it says right here, like David, we aren't perfect, and just like him, we can go up and do good, and we can fall and still come back up. And we can still find our way to redeem ourselves.
Thankfully, yes, we have that opportunity to do so.
Yes.
And sometimes it's better to have risen and fallen so that you can appreciate when you get back up again.
Exactly. Appreciate what you had.
Exactly.
Because sometimes we take it for granted, myself included.
We all do.
Once you don't have it anymore, then you really feel the sting of it. Then you feel the burn.
Yes.
While you have it and you're not appreciating it, it's sitting there, whatever it may be. It's sitting there, but you don't appreciate it yet until it's gone. And we like to have the choice. We like to just have it to sit there and not even use it if we don't want to. But the fact that we want to make our own choice. So when we have that choice taken away from us, our free will of that choice, then we feel it. And it pisses us off, it depresses us and everything. So
it's a wake-up call.
Exactly. So once you get it back, you appreciate it with a new level, a new outlook.
Right.
All right, so perhaps the key moment in 2 Samuel occurred in chapter 7, when God made a covenant with David to set up your seed after you and to establish his kingdom, verse 12. The Lord was talking about Solomon, but pointing to someone greater than Solomon. Verse 16 says, "And your house and your kingdom shall be established forever before you. Your throne shall be established forever." Our Lord Jesus Christ is eternal, and of his kingdom there will be no end. Let us honor him, yield to him, and serve him without wavering. Let's say, "Oh, worship the King, all glorious above, and gratefully sing his power and his love." The key theme of this is to acknowledge God's kingship in every area of your life. The key challenge we have is that when you pray, pray in the name of King Jesus. Make it a practice to remember that he is our sovereign Lord and submit to his authority in your life. Our key verse, "Therefore you are great, O Lord God, for there is none like you, nor is there any God besides you, according to all that we have heard with our ears." 2 Samuel, verse 7:22. The key prayer is, "Lord, please reign as my sovereign king in every area of my life. Help me to submit to your authority and to reject the innate desire to have my own way." And so we get caught up in certain things in our life, in certain ways, any of our seasons of our lives, and it's important for us to get the guidance from him.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes we can't get ourselves out of our situation. So he helps us take a step back and realize what's going on and pull yourself out of your own shoes. And sometimes in the moment you can't do that, but you got to just ask him for that gift, for that awareness of the self-awareness, to help gain the self-awareness and get yourself out of a sticky situation in a bad season. And he helps you get out of that.
So when I take in lessons like this is a summary of the book of Samuel 2, right? The second book of Samuel. And when I hear the summary of this book and reflect on my own personal life experiences, and yours too, I'm reflecting on your life experiences as well. And when what comes to mind is that we when we're introduced to our Christianity, our faith in God, right? We have this desire, this natural interest, right? To learn more, know more, to
Yes.
pursue more.
Yes.
And then so we dive in and we start learning about God and how his rules apply to us and how he loves us. It's a love story.
Yes.
And it's about our salvation. It's about rekindling our relationship with God, our creator.
That's right.
Who created the world. And when you look at Earth and you look at all the space around it, right?
Yep.
The sky, everything around it, the other planets. It's easy to see that everything looks so perfect that it has to have been made by a great creator, right? Everything just fits in life, from space to the planet to everything that we experience in our lifetime. And so we get in awe of God's creation, and then we learn that he gives us free will. We have this free will, so we start walking in alignment with him, but we start walking in our own free will, and then we start to put aside the guidance that he gives us in the Bible, right? Because the Bible is his communication to us, and so we admire it, but then we kind of set it to the side and we get distracted.
That's right.
We start walking our own walk, like thinking, okay, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to achieve, because we're creators. We are made like our creator. He created a whole bunch of stuff, and we create things too as individuals. Exactly. We're creators, right? We're like mini gods, okay? And so we're out creating content, and we kind of get distracted of, am I creating content that's in alignment with God, or is it not in alignment with God? And that is the difference between righteousness and unrighteousness. Right. And so what happens is when you start doing things that's unrighteous, then God is going to steer you back, and sometimes it takes a great fall in order for you to get steered back to creating things that are righteous.
That's
good
right.
and holy and pure.
Lose our way, and he's got to bring us back.
He's got to bring us back.
Our purpose, because we all have our own purpose.
Absolutely.
And so we can lose track of that.
Yep.
And get into sticky situations.
Bad situations.
And it can look like the purpose might not even get fulfilled at some point. So
right.
Like, you don't know.
Like, what did I do?
What might happen? Yeah.
Did I ruin my whole future path? Or
exactly. And so you get really scared in those moments.
Yeah.
And so some people don't get as lucky to get steered right back in the right path. Sometimes they have to suffer those consequences for the rest of their life.
Yeah, 100%.
Or some consequences can even be death.
And that too, that's the worst.
And then you're done. Then you're out of the game.
Yeah, game over. Unfortunately, that does happen.
Then you're over. So it's important to be appreciative that when we do steer off track, when we get put back on our track, we're lucky that we did. Because
absolutely.
Some people don't.
And we need to continue to reflect on that as we move forward and remember those experiences, because those are milestones for us that lead us in the right direction. Sometimes God tests us and will stretch us because he wants to test our faith and see how we're growing with him, right? And the Bible talks about that. He says he'll do that to see how strong your faith is, or
in your will,
or he's preparing you for another season that's ahead of you. Because listen to this, you cannot create gold without putting it into the fire and burning out the impurities. Yes. And so life is that fire.
And diamonds are made with pressure.
So you've got to go through those. Those are good analogies.
Go through the fire and go through the pressure.
Right. In order to get purified, right? Yes. In order to be a better version of ourselves. You 2.0, right? Martha 2.0.
Good witch. Right? That's exactly it. You got to go through that hard time to become the next, like you said, the 2.0 version of you. You got to go through that to change something that's in you, because you either rise to the occasion or you fall and you give up. And that's a choice that we all have to make when we're in those situations.
So what do you think? Where do you think you're 22 years old, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what version of you are you on right now?
Right now, I might be on like 5.0.
Are you serious?
5.0.
Wow, I was gonna say I'm like 5.0. I'm probably like 10.0 then.
It's just crazy because of all the different life experiences that people have.
Yeah.
So in my life, I might not have had so much as financial struggle. I've never been rich, but you know what I mean. I've never gone through some super poverty.
You've never been homeless.
Exactly. So other people have had it harder, but in my life, the experiences, I've come close to death a couple times.
Yeah.
Because of certain things that I was addicted to before. I have no shame in it. I used to when I was younger. I'm still young, but a few years ago, I was just involved with the wrong people, partying, doing party drugs, and a couple times. One time, I totaled my car, and that my father had given to me. He made a huge sacrifice for me to have that car, and because I was out partying, because I didn't want to deal with my own demons, my own problems in myself, I could have killed myself that day, and the car is wrecked, it's gone, it's totaled. And so that sacrifice he made went out the door. Me having that car, me having my own transportation, me having my freedom of going around anywhere I went out the door. And so I felt like in those moments I had to make a change with myself. So I became Sebastian 2.0 around then. And then I went through another scenario and a lot of things that I don't have time to talk about today. Maybe one day I'll write a book about it or something.
Yeah.
And to tell people more about it. But I've been through a lot of scenarios where I feel like I'm a lot up here. I feel like mentally I've I feel like I've matured mentally a lot faster than some of my peers around my age because I've been through certain things in life, emotional traumas and everything that ages you a little bit. It makes you more mature and you have to change or you stay the same way. And for me, I saw that I had to change in certain moments in my life were key moments where I had to get the courage to be a man, you know, and to not take anyone's crap because in life there's going to be a lot of people that are going to try to give you crap. And when I was in school, I would get bullied by some kids and everything because I would take the crap and I wouldn't stand up for myself.
Yeah.
And now the person I am today, I'm proud of who I am today because now I don't get crap from no one because they can see that I'm not going to take it. I'm also not going to go out there and like, oh, I'm super macho man or nothing like that because that's not what it's about.
You went to a public school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't it terrible that our public schools are dangerous places because you get bullied? I got bullied. I was bullied in elementary school. I wanted to kill myself in elementary school.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, it's a real thing. There's a lot of bullies out there,
problem,
and so that does need to get addressed.
Absolutely.
But you know, going back to my point was that these certain things I went through, I felt like I became Sebastian 2.0 and then 2.5 and then 3.5 and then 4.
Yep.
And I feel like now I've just been shedding those layers of myself that they don't fit me, they don't suit me anymore because of my different goals.
You're evolving into another
Sebastian because who I am today I don't recognize for who I was before because it was just the maturity for one and also just you can become a 2.0 or 3.0 any day that you want to.
Right.
That's another thing about it. And so it's a choice. And so even without certain things I've gone through, it's just some days I wake up and I realize that this isn't suiting me anymore. This isn't working out for me. I need to change. I need to change that habit of mine. I need to shed that layer, shed some of that skin that I have that it's not gonna help me.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So that was the biggest thing. So that's why now I feel like I'm at a Sebastian 5.0.
Okay. So there's a couple of things, a couple of reflections. So number one, you had an awareness inside of you that in order to meet your higher self, the self-image that you have that you aspire to be at, it was not in alignment with how you're living in the right now.
Exactly.
Right.
My actions were not in alignment.
And you needed to get into congruence. And in order for you to get that congruence with who you are now and who you want to be, you have to make changes.
And that's exactly what I've been doing.
That's fantastic. That's
exactly what it is. Yeah.
That's one of the high performance habits by Brendon Burchard, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah, it's congruence, right? Wow. So let me ask you this also, Sebastian. Would you, if a 16-year-old, right, a high school student, came to you to ask you for advice, they need guidance, would you have been able to give them as good of guidance today had you not gone through those painful experiences?
Not at all. You wouldn't have been able to give any of the guidance.
Exactly. So God put you in a situation to be able to use you to reach people and help them out.
And in the moment, you don't realize it. Like
no,
when
you
I
don't.
was going through the moments, I had moments where I wanted to just end it. You know what I mean? Like I had moments where, truthfully, I really did not want to be here anymore. Like I was ready to give up in certain moments.
Yeah.
Then now, like you just brought that to light to me. Like I didn't really think about it. I've known it. I thought about it before, but you just brought it back into my thinking pattern. You know, like I wasn't thinking of it like that. And so, looking back on all of that, if I had somebody 16 years old coming to ask me for advice, now I would know what to tell him. Exactly. I would tell him, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself.
Self-confidence.
Have self-confidence. Don't care. Don't give a damn about any of the other kids in school and what they like.
Could you tell them how to strengthen their self-confidence?
Yeah, you gotta wake up and just believe in yourself. You gotta wake up and you gotta tell yourself, that if nobody else do self-affirmations, yes, and you manifest your higher self. You manifest who you want to become.
And what about the physical activities that you can do?
And the physical, you can start working out and everything like that. Start
eating
healthier.
Courage, confidence.
Exactly. And by going to the gym and building muscle, you're going to give yourself more courage and confidence. Because especially in school.
And the endorphins that you talked about at the beginning of the show.
And the endorphins is going to help you out because you might be stressed out about your classes, your exams, everything like that. So by starting to work out, you're going to improve those areas of your life, and you're going to go to class and you have a quiz or whatever. Okay, who cares? Who gives a crap? Like, you're going to go and you're going to ace that freaking test. You're going to ace that exam, whatever it is. You're going to be a scholar. You don't want to, I could have had better grades, and my grades weren't terrible, but I could have done better. Mm-hmm. And simply because I was like, oh, I'm not going to need school later, certain things, certain lessons, I deprived myself from the chance of having straight A's every single year and being on the honors list all the time. I made it a couple times, but I had C's consistently, in some classes because I wanted to be the class clown. I wanted to be the cool guy. So I was worried so much about everyone else.
I'm guilty of doing the same thing too.
I stopped focusing on myself. And there's a story that
I didn't even graduate high school.
Wow.
I got a GED.
Wow.
I got kicked out of my
senior year. There's a lot of successful people that have gotten kicked out of high school and stuff. You have to reinvent yourself. And that's what happens. But, being in school and at that age, a good analogy I can think of, like a good little tip, I had a friend one time that he told me he was talking to a homeless person, and he gave him this analogy, and it's actually gone around. There's people that do like talks, motivational speakers, and they've used this story. Okay. And basically this homeless person, he asked the homeless guy, he asked him for a cigarette. Mm-hmm. And so he gave him a cigarette, my friend. And he said, if you don't mind me asking you, how'd you get into this position? Mm-hmm. The homeless man told him, I was doing all right. I had my own money. I had a job. I had an apartment, a house, whatever. I was doing my things, working on myself. Mm-hmm. I was building my house. And imagine I have a whole container, a whole supply of bricks. Mm-hmm. And I have materials for me to build my house. Mm-hmm. And so the guy's saying as he's building his house, he's doing brick by brick, laying the bricks down, getting up more and more. But then he has other people that he gets caught up with doing the wrong thing, and also people that are taking advantage of him. So he starts giving away his bricks to the other people as he's trying to build his house. But then after so many years, he realized that he gave away so many bricks that he had no more bricks to build his own house. And the house came crumbling down and crashing before him. And everything he lost. And then he was homeless. And so that's the key thing that I did, being the class clown, trying to impress everyone. I'm not friends with none of those kids anymore. I'm not. A lot of those kids that I was trying to impress in school and be funny, and I was so worried about impressing them to be popular, Mr. Popular, and have a whole bunch of friends. I was giving away my bricks to them, spending money, getting things like, like getting whatever, candies, chips in school, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And so, or going to the mall, you want to, okay, here, I'll get your food for you, whatever. Like, you just want to be the cool guy or whatever. Mm-hmm. You want to make them like you, so you want to do things that are going to make them like you.
Basically, buy your friends.
Buying your friends is what I tried to do. Mm-hmm. And so,
I'm guilty of
I lost money doing that. And so I also lost part of myself, and I was sad, my self-esteem, like, oh, why don't they really like me? I see them hanging out. They don't ever ask me to come hang out with them. Mm-hmm. And so with social media today, you can see them hanging out. They post on their story. You can see it. They're hanging out. They didn't invite you ever. But they'll give you dap or whatever in school, shake your hand, everything. That's what they call it, nowadays. But shaking your hand, shake your hand in school, they'll say hi to you. But outside of school, they don't really view you as a real friend. Like they say they do in school.
Users, leeches.
Exactly. And so it's the same thing. Being in school, you're worrying about being popular and having all those friends. You're building your bricks for your house while you're in high school and in middle school and everything. But you're giving away those bricks when you're worrying about everyone else, and you're worrying about being popular, and you're worrying about being liked. And then you find out they don't like you, and you realize you wasted that. Right. And you can't get that time back. You can't get that. You can't get that back. The money you spent, whatever it is, and money isn't everything. You got to be like a river and let it flow in and out.
I love that you brought the river up.
Like you told me,
because Jesus kind of has a similar story. When Jesus came, he left heaven. Yeah. Because he's God. He left his kingdom, his throne, and he came to earth and was born in a manger, right? Which represents poverty, right? So he was born. He was born in poverty. Yeah. He never owned a house. Wow. His whole time here, his 33 years on earth, he never owned a house. He didn't even own a bed to sleep in. He always slept in borrowed beds. Like everywhere he went, they provided housing for him, right? Everywhere he went, he had food, shelter, and clothing provided for him. And the Bible says that even the sparrow doesn't worry about food because God has taken care of it. Everything is taken care of. Everything is already predestined. You're walking in a path because you have a purpose to fulfill. And if you think about being the river, you just let things flow through you.
Yes.
The thing is not to be a hoarder of things. Like it doesn't matter if you give away your bricks as long as you have bricks coming back to you if you're with the right people. And so your intention is really important. So if your intention is to buy friends, then you're gonna fail.
Right,
but if your intention
is
is
give away some bricks, not expecting anything in return.
Right,
if you're doing it the right way.
Right, and then be open. You
get rewarded for it,
and be open for it to come to you. Because you got to be a part of the river.
Exactly,
right. You can't have a dam. You're gonna get dammed. You got to be in the river. You have to have the flow.
Yes,
and let it keep coming to you and through you, and let it keep moving.
And that's you give away the right bricks.
That's the secret.
Yeah,
of living an abundant life. Is to let it flow through you and be a good steward. God calls us to be a good steward. A steward is a manager, right? So as a manager, you have to be a good manager. You have to let things pass through you and serve other people. And so you are the conduit. You're the person who's navigating things, managing things.
Absolutely. And when you're doing the right things, you do it for the right reason.
Yep.
God will put the right people in your path.
Yes.
And when you need it, they'll look out for you.
If you're a giver and you hang out with other givers, then you're always going to have.
Exactly. So it's important. That's also another important thing is to not be around takers.
Yeah.
I've been around a lot of takers.
Yeah, you've got to cut takers off.
I've always been a giver.
And so you get used.
I've always gotten.
It's a bad combination.
And so after certain scenarios, I realized, okay, now I'm careful with who I am.
I'm
suspicious of the people now.
You have to be guarded.
And I'm open to people, but I'm suspicious because you don't know the true intention.
Yep.
So that's why you got to be important. Don't give too much because they'll take and take and take.
You have to cut those people off and put yourself with the right people.
Know who's a giver.
Yeah.
Know who's a taker.
Yeah.
And even if sometimes you can still give to the takers, but don't give
more
than what you can. Exactly. Right. Give what you can. That's not going to hurt you.
Exactly.
That's
100%.
it.
That's
a lesson for the young. That's like for the 16-year-olds out there. For people that are still in high school. This is a great episode of this podcast today.
Right.
Is almost dedicated for them.
Right. I feel that way too.
Because this is the message from today is for those young people. Identify the takers. Identify the givers. Don't be too much of either.
Yep.
Find your medium.
And do the self-affirmations. If you suffer from low self-confidence, low self-esteem.
And write it down. Write it down in your journal.
And then read them every day.
Because it teaches your subconscious.
Yep.
Tell yourself you're loved. Tell yourself that you have value. Courage, that you value yourself. You believe in yourself because not everyone's going to believe in you. Mm-hmm. And I've had so many dreams and so many things that was always shot down. And so I could have pursued other paths. I like the path that I'm on right now. So I'm pretty happy that everything happened the way it did. But it doesn't change nevertheless. I could have given my all to certain sports or anything that I was told I would never be a pro, so I believed it.
Right.
And so it's important to whatever you
be
believe
discerning of the voices around you.
Exactly. And like Stan Lee said about Spider-Man, a lot of people hated the Spider-Man idea.
Yeah.
And then it turned out that the viewers loved it. So then they told him, oh, hey, you remember that Spider-Man that we loved? Like, oh, you guys didn't love it at first, because the fans want it. So it's important. If he said, if you have something that you think is a good idea, a genuinely good idea, you fight for that idea.
Yes,
and 100%. You believe in yourself when no one else will believe in you.
If God gave you a vision, it's for a reason.
Exactly. Yeah. So believe in yourself. Don't care if anyone believes in you, and
do exercises too.
And exercise as well, because it's going to help you with the stress of being in school and the stress of trying to fit in. A lot of people seem to neglect the fact that being in school nowadays with the world that we live in, you're constantly trying to impress everyone. Right. Everyone wants to dress the same way. Oh, yeah. If you're not dressed like how they are, they call you a nerd.
And actually, they're all sheep because they're all following the flock.
Exactly.
So don't be a sheep.
Be a leader.
Be the black sheep of the family. Like, do your own thing.
Exactly.
Right.
Because they're going to paint you the picture of you're the black sheep when in reality you're the golden sheep. You're the leader.
And it's a false pedestal anyways that you're living up to because it changes all the time.
Yes, and the thing is, like, with these fashion trends and everything like that, like, do what you like and stick with that because they all act like they're in the fashion in the now, but really they're just in the follower. They're followers.
That's right.
Like,
and it's going to change.
What my favorite artist did, and
it's
I'm following this, and then that fashion, those shoes that are cool right now are not going to be cool in 2 years.
And then you waste your money.
Those biker jeans and everything. I like some of them, but you know what I mean? Like,
of course.
certain of the fashion trends, it's not going to be here in 10 years from now, in 2 years, in 1 year. Everything's changing faster now.
It does. A whole lot quicker, yeah.
Wear what you like.
Yeah,
dress how you
exactly.
Like. And if somebody has something to say, it doesn't matter.
Exactly. Define your own style, right? You
Exactly.
can have some mainstream stuff, but try to figure out what you like the most and go with what you like the most. And don't like it just because everybody else likes it.
Like it because you genuinely like it.
Find a real connection.
And stick up for yourself, you know? If you're getting bullied and whatever the case is,
or notify the right people.
Tell the right people, and also, but you also have to stand up, because even when you tell the right people, they're gonna come after you afterwards.
So you have to stand up.
You gotta make sure that you stand your ground.
Yeah.
You know, not everything has to be violence.
That's true.
But
avoid hanging out with the wrong people.
Be smart with who you're hanging out with, because, like Mr. Miyagi said in the Karate Kid, he said. The best fight outcome is no fight.
No fight, yeah.
You know, like something like that. It's like the best thing is to avoid the fight.
To avoid it. Yeah.
So you know what I mean?
Play it safe.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's it. You know, that's like the big message for those
100%.
people.
Yeah, and if you just can't get out of your environment, like if you're in a bad school with a lot of issues,
go to a new school.
Maybe you can take
transfer
or do home study.
Exactly. You know, if you do homeschool, and I personally have done homeschool, and I know what it feels like to not be around your friends and everything. It sucks. You feel lonely. Do sports. Do extracurricular things outside of your. Do your homeschool.
Go take classes.
You can be focused.
Go play guitar
Exactly.
lessons.
Go take
piano
lessons. Go take karate class.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a whole bunch of things. There's summer camps in the summertime.
Sailing.
There's things, there's things throughout the school year that kids can get enrolled to.
Right.
So they can join clubs.
So you can have a social life.
And you can meet people, exactly.
Right. And you can get away from that bad environment. So that, like,
and you can graduate early.
You did your senior year that way, and you flew through it, right? Your senior year homeschooling when you were living with me.
So I slacked off a little bit at first, and then towards the end, when I had to really pick up the pace and get to graduating.
Yeah.
I was flying. At first, I flew through the lessons, and then I got complacent, and I stopped taking it so hard. But once it came to the end, where I was like, okay, now I got to pick up the pace, I went through the amount of work, and the time that I did it was like double the speed of what they go through in the school year. You know?
Yeah.
And if you really take it serious,
you can
graduate earlier than everyone else.
So homeschooling might be a good solution for some people.
Exactly, and if you need help, you know, the teachers are always available on the phone. You know, you can text them, you can call them, and a lot of them, they made themselves available to me. I know that they'll do the same thing for you. You know, it might be hard. I'm a visual learner, and some of you are probably visual learners too. So you need to see what's going on. You need the teacher there physically, and that's hard. But there's a lot of things where the teachers, you have discussion-based assessments, DBAs, so they're on the phone with you. And even without the assessments on the phone, even if you just need help with homework, they'll do that. And they also have things kind of like the Zoom calls where they taught the class. They'll get the whiteboard and explain the lessons, and you're in the call with other students, and they're all asking questions. Yeah. So it's a virtual. They really make it so
it's live.
They have
virtual.
They have like it's live virtual, and they have like practice things. So it's not just like the lessons you do it by yourself.
Interactive.
But they have things where like the homework assignments and other things where you're interacting with the other students that are online.
Yep.
And so that's another way you can meet the other students that are online.
And somebody might say something that like rings in your head. You're like, oh wait, the light bulb just went off because of the way that they just explained it.
And that's how it is, because the students were like, oh, how can I solve this way?
Yeah.
And so then you can find the green light.
I was thinking about the same thing too. Oh, that's how they do it.
And so it feels like you're back in that school environment again.
Yeah.
Because
without the stupid horseplay.
Yes, because if you're doing that crap on the computer, they're going to take you off.
How are you supposed to focus if somebody's flicking a rubber band from across the room at you?
And the problem is the teachers have to stop their lessons to start and reprimand the kid, the jerk who's doing, you know.
And then it just throws everything off of the momentum. Your momentum is gone, and momentum is important for everything. For studying or for getting jobs accomplished, right?
Exactly. So consider going to online school. You know, if you're having problems at your school, you can't avoid those problems. Try doing it online. If you do it online, join other classes outside of school so you can meet other people and you can still have your social life.
100%.
And you're going to learn better. You're going to learn the content more. You're going to learn it and really digest it without having the teacher pause every single second. You can learn it faster than being in traditional school.
Right.
And you can still have the same social environment, by doing things outside.
It's a better social environment.
It's a better environment.
I think so.
It's a bit lonely when you do it. You're on your computer by yourself, but do the workshops with the classes. The teachers will have workshops where you're with other students that are online, so it makes you feel like you're not alone.
You won't be
it's
alone.
Like, all these other
the lonely
kids
part.
are doing it in their room too.
Right.
They're all doing it. They're not in the classroom with other kids. And they're doing it by themselves. So that loneliness, it's like, there's other kids that are out here doing this. They're learning it with me. They're right there with me.
And you have the benefit of a better schedule because you don't have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get ready and be at work.
That's a huge thing about doing online school. You can wake up whenever you can do your schedule for your day. You can do it at night if you want to do it. You can do it in the morning if you want to do it.
Which is a win because if you're up all night talking to your girlfriend or boyfriend on the phone,
which most of the kids are,
and we know you're doing that.
And I would do it with my friends.
And then you have to turn around and go to school and try to learn when you're sleepy.
Yeah.
Come on, that's like a losing proposition. So
that's exactly what would happen to me. Man.
Zero out that losing
with your friends.
Until 5 in the morning, and then you got to be at school 7.
Yeah. You wake up. You go with an hour of sleep.
You're tired. You're cranky. You're not able to learn
anything because you're not even willing. You don't even want to.
You don't exactly.
You're too tired to pay attention.
Rather than set yourself up for failure, set yourself up for success.
Exactly.
Control.
If you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail.
Exactly. So change the script. Flip the script. Yeah. All right. So let's segue back over to the last part.
If I was in high school right now again, and if I was listening to all this to do online school, I would have been more motivated to do
of course.
Online.
Well, think about it.
I can get around the loneliness part because I'm an extrovert.
Right.
So some people are introverts and they're fine with it.
Yeah.
I need to be around other people, and I'm not afraid to admit it.
Yeah.
That's just the truth.
It's who you are.
All of us are like that, even though we don't want to admit it. Mm-hmm. We are codependent. We're beings. The human beings. We need to be around other humans.
That's 100% true.
So you know what I mean. So
we all do need human interaction, and so find it in other groups. Find it in other ways.
Find the right groups. Find the right people.
So to put a little conclusion for that section, and then we'll move into the last piece of this podcast. I would like to say that all of your experiences have made you gave you the ability to educate others from from those challenges that you faced, right? So rather than if you're going through challenges in your own life, rather than look at them as failures, look at them as learning experiences, and so reposition your mind so that you can see it as in a positive light. So tell yourself, I went through these hard times so that I could help other people through my life experiences.
And there's going to be a lot of people that are going through similar situations
or worse.
Or worse.
And
you go through that, and if you're strong enough to get through it and you're tough enough, one day you're going to be a light to others that are in that situation and they feel like they can't get out.
I hope you'll be a light to others because you could be selfish and keep it all to yourself, but why do that? That's not a good place to be. And if you're on this show, I highly doubt that you would do that. I believe that if you're here, God brought you here for a reason, and it's so that you can tune in to the light that you have to offer to others.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. So
that was great. That was
100%, man. Thank you for sharing, man, from the heart, because that people need that. So the last piece of this is the Entrefluential tip of the day, and I have my last 10th pillar from my book, The 10 Pillars of Entrefluential Success. And so in pillar number 10, it's called the Entrefluential Marketer. And what I teach you in this segment is how to use infotainment, which is story selling, to your prospects in your series of sales journeys that you create. Now, you may have multiple sales journeys if you're selling multiple different things. If I'm selling seminars, like if I have a list of seminars that I want to do, one of them is for first-time home buyers for my real estate business. Another one is called Grow Your Real Estate Portfolio. That's specifically talking to real estate investors. Another one is called Short-Term Rental Conversions. That's also speaking to real estate investors. And then the 10 Pillars of Entrefluential Success. This one here, I want to do seminars so we can teach people. This speaks to entrepreneurs and how to get your message out there so that you can earn more revenue. Because it really is the backbone. Sales and marketing is the backbone of any business. Without it, your business is going to die. Even a hospital needs sales. Right? You need patients. A school needs sales, right? They need students to teach. So everything has sales involved. What were we going to say?
I was going to say we should make YouTube videos doing examples of putting this into play.
Oh, we are,
so
100%.
We'll get the grandparents involved. We'll do scenarios of how you can use the strategies from your Entrefluential.
Well, actually, what we're going to do is when we do our seminars, they're actually going to be workshops where we
bring workshops.
We bring people in, and we're actually going to create content.
Yep.
For them, and so we can use those videos,
and we'll show them how to implement these skills that you have.
Exactly. So, and we can record it and then use that for
the YouTube. We'll post it on YouTube. That's right. Yep.
Right. So that'll become a course because we'll use that content for that. So, but the people who are going to be in the workshops are going to actually be able to learn how to apply these skills in the business and create content that they can immediately take and put out in the marketplace to sell their services, products and services. So. Speaking about marketing, when I was designing this section, this pillar, or chapter, if you will, what I had in mind was a good marketer is a good storyteller. Yes. And what we did tonight was infuse our backstory that actually builds know, like, and trust, right? Know, like, and trust. It builds a relationship with your audience, with your sphere. And when they know you, they like you, and they trust you, they'll want to do business with you. Yeah. And so story selling is, you start with the problem that you want to solve, right? Either you're creating a product or a service because you want to solve a problem. And then once you define what that problem is that you're solving, then you answer the solution to that problem, right? You provide us, how is your product or service a solution to that problem? Yeah. Once you have the problem and the solution, now you infuse your backstory of how you came up with that solution, right? That's right. And when people hear your story and how you're able to solve that problem that they're dealing with as well, they'll trust you they'll trust that you can help them solve their problem too. That's story selling. That's right. It's a beautiful thing. And then now the next thing is, where do you do story selling? And so what I came up with in the Entrefluential Marketer is 3 different areas to do your selling. Number 1, you can sell from stages, which is why we're going to host seminars, because we're going to provide our audience with a actual platform, a stage to stand on and speak to a whole group of people at one time. Yeah. Okay. And we can film it, and then you can use that content in front of an audience to put it on your YouTube channel, to put it on your web page, to put it on your social media. And that's going to showcase you as an expert speaking to a live audience. That's right. Okay, so you sell from stage, you sell from podcasts. So if you happen to be an expert in any of the 10 pillars that we're talking about, reach out to us, because we want experts to talk about how do you become an expert podcaster? How do you become an expert YouTuber? How do you become an expert marketer? How do you become an expert networker for public relations? So those opportunities, by speaking out on your area of expertise, on podcasts, there's a whole bunch of podcasts out there, and you need to get out there on other people's podcasts, and you should create your own podcast where you tell stories about how your products or services are the solution to those people's problems, right? The people who are listening to you. You educate them, and through educating, you're selling. That's story selling. It's infotainment. Yeah. When you make it fun, it's information and it's entertaining. That's infotainment. Story selling. Story selling. You combine all of these elements together. Yes. And if you really think about communication, there's only 3 real reasons. And I used to teach this when I was an English teacher. There's only 3 real purposes for communication. It's to persuade, to inform, and to entertain. That's right. Right? I'm either going to persuade you to do something, right? I'm going to inform you about what's going on, right? That's the news. Yes. Or I'm going to entertain you. Let's go watch a TV show. Right. Okay. Persuade, inform, entertain. Now, if you want to do the best communication, do all 3. Yes. Right. If you to be an expert communicator, combine all 3 elements, and then you'll wow your audience. You'll engage so much better. Your communication will be received a whole lot better, because communication is 2-way. I'm delivering a message, and you're receiving a message. That's right. And if you want your message to be received better, then put those 3 elements: persuade, inform, and entertain, and your 2-way street will be much more didactic, more absorbed, better absorbed. I love it. Cool, man. And so the other place, the 3rd one. So I told you the stage. I told you podcasting. The 3rd one is videos. Okay, you can do Zooms. You can do YouTube. Right. You can do, what's that other one? There's another one that's like YouTube. It's another channel.
Oh, Vivo.
Right? Is that what it's called?
I think Vivo
is part of a different program. Vimeo. It's like YouTube,
Vimeo.
right? So and then there's E360 TV. You probably don't even know about E360 TV, but one of the things I have a goal of doing is taking our TV show and putting on a TV show that we create for my real estate business, and then putting it on E360 TV, which you can pay $100 a month, and it gets distributed to a whole bunch of platforms, like so people can watch it on their like Hulu, Netflix, blah blah blah, onto their streaming channels, so they can have access to your show.
Yeah.
So it's all about syndication. That's another syndicating platform.
That's right.
So think about that. Stages, podcast. Stages are live in person. Yeah. Podcast, it's in your ear, and then videos is eyeballs, right? So you can see it. Podcasting is the new radio.
Yeah.
Right. It's one of the new radio formats, as along with Pandora and Spotify.
Exactly.
And then the other, instead of television, right? We really have YouTube.
Yeah.
And cable TV, right?
Yep.
We watch TV on the internet nowadays. We don't really watch regular cable TV or regular television.
Just watch YouTube videos.
YouTube.
You have your streaming platforms.
Yeah,
like
streaming.
Hulu.
Yeah, streaming.
You got the cable that's not so popular anymore. Yeah. You got the radio that people are in the car, they're going through whatever. They have
not even so much anymore, right? Because like they put
people just put their music
Pandora
on their phone.
Or
they put the aux in their phone, and they're not even listening to the radio anymore.
Right. I listen to Pandora all the time.
Podcasting is gonna be the new radio.
People plug into that.
It already kind of is. Mm-hmm. It already is, and it's still growing.
And it's
just gonna. The more the time goes on, the more that people are gonna tune into podcasts more than they are the radio. And they already are doing it right now.
Exactly. And one of the benefits of podcasting is it's on demand 24/7, 365. Okay, so before we wrap up, I just want to tell you the steps, okay? So you already know what the objective is for communicating. And then if you think about how you can package your content that you want to deliver, you can take it and create a sales journey, right? Because we talk about bringing clients into our business. You want to put them into your sales journey. Now, if you think about a pyramid, an upside down pyramid, the top of the pyramid is where you take your leads and you funnel them into the top of the pyramid, upside down pyramid. And as they go down narrow and more narrow, they go from cold leads to people who don't really know who you are, they're seeing you for the first time, to they turn into warm leads. So that means they're interacting with your content, and if it's a good fit for them, then they'll want to do business with you.
Right.
They'll see you as a solution to their problems. And when you get all the way to the bottom, they turn into paying clients, and that's where the money comes out, right? That's a money machine, is the upside down pyramid. It's a funnel, the funnel system. So if you create sales journeys, you bring new people into your sales vehicle, right? Let's say let's think of it like a roller coaster. They go through the line, they get into the roller coaster, and then they go on this journey, right? When you take them on your sales journey, you've got to, the first thing is go up, right? Before you go down and have all the fun. Right. You climb up the hill, and as you're climbing up the hill, you're informing them about how your products and services, your backstory is relative to them. So you connect with them on an emotional level. Do I have a background? Do I connect with this guy? Oh my God, this guy thinks like I do. We have the same thing in common. They build rapport with you, right? They get to know you, like you, and trust you. Yep. And then when you get to the top of the hill, now the ride starts. Now you've already educated them. You've indoctrinated them into your system. Yes. Now you take them on the ride. Now you start showing them how your products and services will benefit them. How do you do that? You do that through the sales journey. You create a series of videos. Let's say you put 3 to 5 videos together that indoctrinates them and shows them how your products and services can work for them. That's the journey that they're going to go through. And then they start seeing other people. You intertwine on your twists and turns. You intertwine some case studies from people that have actually gone through your products and services and used them, your customer service experiences, your testimonials. So they twist through those testimonials and they see how beneficial it could be. They start putting themselves in the picture of the people who got the solution that you offer. And now they want it even more. By the time the ride ends, they're ready to do business with you.
Yes.
That's marketing.
Yeah. Wow.
That's infotainment.
That was great. That was a great explanation.
Awesome. Well, that's all I have.
How it is.
And short and sweet.
Exactly. That was awesome. And to end our podcast from now on, I'm going to start giving us a motivational quote of the day.
Okay, great.
So generally, I'll have these quotes quoted by the person that said it.
Okay.
In 100% of the time, generally, or I'll say 9
okay.
times out of 10. Today, I don't have it's an unknown source. This quote is an unknown source. Take life day by day and be grateful for the little things. Don't get caught up in what you cannot control. Accept it and make the best of it.
Beautiful.
That's the motivational quote of the day.
Love it.
To finish off the podcast.
Thank you so much, man. I think this was an amazing show, amazing episode. I feel like they get better and better every time we come on here.
They do, definitely.
But then again, I'm my own biggest fan. Right?
You're my number one podcaster.
You're my number one podcaster. And so you're my number one customer. So, the thing is, like, here we are. We are hopefully getting better as we go along. This is episode, 24? I can't believe we've done 24 episodes. That means we've been doing this for 6 months now, right? Because
that's right.
We basically do 4 a month. 6 times 4 is 24. At least 6 months. And then we have skipped a couple of weeks here and there. So our show has probably literally been going on for about 7 months now.
Yeah, that's right.
That's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, time flies by.
It's been a lot of fun. And I feel like there's so much more potential in the future for it, right?
And as we keep doing, I think around the 30th episode, that'll be the end of season 1.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll pick the number.
Yep. I think it's gonna be 30, and then we'll take a little break.
And then for season 2, we'll come back even stronger.
That's our goal, is to come back even stronger with some more technology.
Yes, exactly. So every season we're going to try to keep improving and getting better as we go on.
And for whoever out there that's listening to this, whoever signed up for StreamYard through our link, thank you for that referral. We really appreciate that. We got a notification that somebody bought StreamYard through our referral, and so we really value that. We really appreciate that. Thank you so much for doing that. So, all right, guys. Well, that's it. That's it, right?
Yeah.
All right. As we always close out our message, is to go out there and amplify your message. We'll see you next Tuesday, guys. Right. God bless you all. Love you guys. Take care.
God bless you. Love you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, you guys.
Bye-bye, you guys.
You know what I was thinking, Sebastian? I was thinking one of these Tuesdays we need to do a Taco Tuesday episode.
Yeah.
Right? We need to
make a recipe, and I'll show them how to make my guacamole.
Dude, that'll be...
killer guacamole recipe.
Okay, all right. You got to do that, because I love guacamole. Yes. So you please bring it, man.
All right.
And bring the heat.
I will.
Those tacos. All right, guys. We'll see you maybe for Taco Tuesday next week.
All right.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
And we are signing out. Bye. Bye.